inside the white-only community in Arkansas. Members have exposed racist and anti-Semitic views and repeatedly praised Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. They've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and their movement is growing. A group of Americans are building a white-only community in rural Arkansas. They call the Return to the Land. They believe that white people and Western culture are facing extinction due to an influx of migrants and minorities. And according to the group's founder, access to the community is open only to people of white European ancestry who share common views on topics such as segregation, abortion, and gender identity. Video footage shared by the group on its social media accounts show a bucolic setting with animals and children running around their 160-acre site, while members of the community build timber frame homes, churches, and other facilities. A few dozen people are already living there full time, says Eric Orwoll, the group's president. Though the organization claims that Return to the Land is nothing more than a peaceful settlement of like-minded people, that the online stories of the group's leaders tell a different story. Members have exposed virulently racist and anti-Semitic views and repeatedly praised Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. One of the leaders says he is currently under criminal investigation in Ecuador. Orwoll himself has spoken about coming of a second Hitler and praised KKK leader David Duke. He is also closely aligned to an international network of far-right influencers, extremists, and white supremacists, including Thomas Sewell, a neo-Nazi living in Australia, who was the founder of a group that influenced the Christchurch, New Zealand shooter. Despite this, the Return to the Land community has been lauded by far-right influencers. It has also raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations. Return to the Land, which was first reported on by the Forward and Sky News, is actively scouting for other locations to create a network of similar communities across the country, with a development in Missouri apparently in the works. Inspired in part by the Silicon Valley-based concept of the network state and by white separatists in community in South Africa known as Orena, the group promotes itself on its website as a community designed to promote strong families with common ancestry and raise the next generation in an environment that reflects our traditional values. They are they are a lot of in Conco's language. Morgan Mon, a researcher at the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremists, tells Wired. Instead of saying they want to make a white ethnic community, they say they want to make a strong community of common ancestry. But at the same time, when we see their promotional videos and propaganda, what we see is that when they are depicting the falling modern society. They use imagery consisting of minority groups or the LGBT plus community. When they are showing the idealized parallel society that they are attempting to create with Return to the Land, they tend to only use white ancestry. Owen has spent years building up an audience of like-minded followers, or social media primarily on YouTube, where he speaks about Western culture and philosophy. In 2023, a group of Owen's followers decided to buy the 160-acre plot in rural Arkansas. They chose the localization because Owens lives nearby, the property was relatively cheap, and the building regulations are lenient. The country is over 90% white. The, the county is over 90% white, which was also a deciding factor, says O, who also claims to be a classically trained musician who previously played with Shan Yan, a Chinese performing arts group run by the Falun Gong, a religious movement. Return to the Land is set up as a private members association as those seeking to join to have to go through a number of steps in order to verify their identity and heritage. You feel a questioning that will give us initial idea of where you're coming from, your values, who you are, your background, and then there is a phone interview, and we make admissions decisions on a case by on a case on a case based on a case by case basis. Oil tells the application for to for the application form for return to the land asks potential members to outline their ancestry and also respond to a range of questions about their social and cultural viewpoints, including whether they support foreign immigrations, transgenderism, COVID-19 vaccines, and segregation. It also asks, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Well, with answers ranging from every day, at least once, to a few times a week, probably and never. This initial process only gets you approved to access private group chats on Telegram. For those who decide they want to move to Arkansas and become part of the community, vetting for that level of involvement is much more thorough, says Orwoll, though he declines to say what the process involved beyond conducting a background check.